Hello everyone, this is Snarist again. This is my Ninja Gaiden 4 Master Ninja difficulty walkthrough with Yakumo. This is chapter 13, Clash of Convictions, and this is a boss gauntlet. Two bosses just in this one mission. This first boss is Kagachi, and he's one of my favourites. But just for the aesthetics and for how fair he fights. I think he's a little bit of a bitch, but that's mostly because he catches me off guard so much. Ultimately, Kagachi is definitely a good boss. He's pretty aggressive, as you can see, and hits like an absolute truck, killing you in 2 or 3 hits. And he attacks very fast and hits from a distance. And he always waits until he's within range before he strikes you, and the moment you let your guard down. That's something that him and Ryu have in common. But his special attacks are pretty easy to negate. He does them a lot more often in his second phase. And even though his second phase has more dangerous attacks, I personally find his second phase to be a little bit easier than this one. Which is strange to say because you wouldn't think that. But yeah, it's true. So Kagachi is definitely the tougher of the two bosses between him and Achilles, which will happen at the end. If you want my advice on getting S ranks, you need to go through dying as little as possible and only saving an item for like an instance of rebirth. And you want to ideally do it, not using any items on Kagachi. So with this move here, keep to the corners. Right here, you can charge up an ultimate and you can catch him off guard, because if you're far enough away, he'll run towards you. Like he'll run, then he'll dash to the side, then run towards you again. But if you get close enough, he'll do one of those attacks. It's pretty easy to predict. I was very fortunate there to catch him off guard, just hitting his legs and nipping away at him. But be prepared to block a lot. But otherwise, a lot of his moves are pretty easy to read when he's got his two swords out. A lot easier than it is in the first one. Because in the first phase, he's very quick with his moves. Okay, with this one, you need to keep dodging to the sides, and they've got a bit of a delay between all of them, especially the last one. And that can hit from any range. So don't think you can run away from it. You've got to stand your ground and block. And then when you hold block, you flick the stick, and you'll be able to strike off to the left. I've got Berserk State. It is more than over for him. Kagachi is down. This took me a few attempts to get this run in particular, and I wish it was a lot cleaner, but yeah, whatever. And so right now, we're going to go immediately into the Achilles boss fight, but what we're going to do is we're going to pause and retry from checkpoint, so that way we can have a chance to get our health back from a darkness terminal, but also to get our items back. So there's the transition there. I went through all my items. Now we come back up the stairs and we can fight Achilles fresh. And one of the first things he does is suck you in with that cube of his. And he'll throw the odd projectile that's easy to dodge, and his scythe attacks surprisingly have big wind-ups, but he does a lot of them, and they do a lot of damage, so that's a nice trade-off at least. Look at that. So yeah, the moment he starts winding up, if you have an ultimate charged up, you can catch him out of that, but if you try to use an ultimate on him the moment he uses that sort of black hole attack he does, then it'll suck you in and cancel it out. It's kind of irritating, but it is what it is. The second phase is by far the hardest thing, because he summons clones of himself, and if you kill all the clones, then he'll just spawn new ones almost instantly. And they do the exact same moves, and while they do die fairly quickly, they're still annoying because they do the same damage. But yeah, I just had enough, used the wall brew and the iron brew, give myself a bit more defense, and do a lot more damage. See, you see how I didn't take any damage when I was in the middle of that? It's surprisingly very easy. When he does that into the second phase, back away. Now what I'm doing is wrong because I'm scared. You should be getting up in his face and charging your ultimate and waiting for the clones to spawn, and the moment they do that super attack there, that's when you should be releasing it for the ultimate attack. But I had the high damage and I just wanted to get some quick licks in. Now with this, I kind of panic a little bit, because he's sucking me in, I'm getting slashed by all the different sides. I'm running low on items and I'm kind of panicking a little bit, but I actually do quite well here. It's hard to see with all these cubes flying around, all the different clones and all that. I charge my ultimate up and I hit the wrong clone, and then I hit the right guy, and he's almost toast. Kill the clone with the bloodbind. See, look at that. Just instantly out again. That's why it's worth keeping at least one clone. Yep, got an ultimate charged up straight away. use them on the clones. And then I got the lucky parry right into an ultimate again. That was very fortunate, and just like that, I've killed him and I had an entire berserk state. Nice and easy. And the next mission is going to be pretty much exactly the same thing. It'll be very, very short, and I'll explain what that is in a moment. But I'll see you then, and for the last stretch of the game.